2015 take the field at Kinnick Stadium, getting ready to test their skills against Illinois State. Alongside Matt Millen and Lisa Byington on the field, I'm Kevin Kugler. C.J. Beathard making his second career start, and what a family lineage he has. Of course, his grandfather, Bobby, former NFL GM, long-time football. Shares that with his granddaughter, Lorraine, who's Kurt's daughter, but cousins with C.J., and she said the same thing. She's going to root for both offenses in this.
Nothing like a little conflict to get a family through things.
Ready to go. As King, 5 yards deep, out he comes for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Desmond King not going to get to the 20-yard line, stacked up at the 19. So C.J. Beathard with some work to do as the Iowa offense for the first time in 2015 takes the field. And Matt, we talked about it a few moments ago. This offense and that young man in particular, a lot on their shoulders as they try to rebound from a rough finish.
Well, ultimately, this offense will go as far as C.J. Beathard takes them, but he's going to need help. Keep in mind, he's starting 3 sophomores on that offensive line, so they're inexperienced. And only the first start for LaShawn Daniels. But when this offense is good, they're a run-first team, but that has to be set up by the pass.
From the 19 on first down. On the roll, Vandenberg with the catch at the 24 and a 5-yard gain on first down.
Be interesting for me to see how this Illinois State defense handles this physical, a much bigger offensive line. If you look at them, they're not very big on the front. Their biggest guy is 270 pounds or so. He's given away across the board around 30 pounds a man.
An extremely hot day. We'll see how they hold up as this game wears on as well. Second down. First carry for Daniels. And Daniels to the 29, a first down.
We start talking about being physical. When you start talking about Iowa in the run game, they like to keep a fullback. It's Plewab, their fullback, number 42. He just sent a message on that first run play, and I heard it all the way up here. It was physical, hit him right square in the face, and sets up this third.
Macon Pleva, a senior who's never scored a touchdown in his Iowa career. That's not his job. His job was to do what he just did to open it up for Daniels. From the 30 on first down. Daniels caught from the backside and then powers forward to the 33-yard line. A pickup of 3. It was Alex Donnelly who tracked him down from behind, and Donnelly, one of the more experienced Redbirds, his 3rd year as a starter.
Yeah, and they're going to need a big game out of him, especially in the pass rushing game. So when you're undersized and you're a defensive coordinator, one of the things you have to do is you have to mix things up, and so they're going to have to start mixing in some blitzes, which they did on that last play.
Spence Nowinski's the defensive coordinator for Illinois State. He was a grad assistant for Barry Alvarez at Wisconsin. He knows the league. Out of the backfield, Kanziri trying to tiptoe down the sideline, out of bounds close to a first down. Devontae Harris out to chase him out. Looks like he's just short of the first.
Kanziri's another guy. He's got really quick feet. Upstate New York kid, found his way out here, but every time he's touched the ball, he's been productive. He's one of those guys you want to get about 15 touches a game with. Sets up this 3rd and short. Now, this is where the size of Iowa should be an advantage.
Adam Cox is the fullback right now, and on 3rd down, it'll just be a sneak for C.J. Beathard. Beathard not at all afraid, Matt, of running the football, whether on a sneak or out on the edge. And
the coaching staff is not afraid to call his number. And so when you have a guy who doesn't have to be the runner, but can run, that always presents problems for a defense.
One of the big challenges for Kirk Ferentz was convincing C.J. Beathard to slide and then teaching him to slide. He had such a bad slide at one point in practice, he ruined his knee brace. Daniels on first down with a hole. Got a good block. Daniels down the sideline, nudged out of bounds at the 31 of Illinois State by Alex Coker. Huge block by Matt Vandenberg on the edge to spring him all the way down to the 32 of Illinois State, 27 yards.
All they're trying to do is to stretch it. And so what they're going to do is start to the left. Now they're going to stretch everything and then let defensively, so you run yourself out of your gaps. And Daniels takes over with a big hole.
Kanziri the single back, and a flag is down, and a little movement will push Iowa back 5.
False start. Offense, number 46. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
It's George Kittle, the tight end. A little early movement. No Jake Dusey at tight end for Iowa for at least the next several weeks, but they've been pleased with both Henry Krager-Coble and George Kittle throughout their camp.
Say that real fast 3 times.
Exactly. First and 15 at the 37. Off play action. Beathard throws a strike down to the 23-yard line into Vaughn Smith. No doubt that Beathard's got a little zip in that right arm.
And Smith is the guy who's their big play guy to take advantage of that zip. Not a great looking ball, but it was right where it had to be. The thing that set it up, though, was great play action. Because they're running the football, right now, Illinois State is committing to the up front, to their front 7 to try to stop that. So nice play call, take advantage of it with play action and a big hole to throw into.
Excellent start for the Iowa offense. 8th play of this opening drive. Daniels down near the 16-yard line. 6 yards on first down. You're going to make a lot of hay with 5 and 6 yards on first down.
Yeah, and this is exactly what Iowa wanted to get done. They just want to pound a smaller unit. Keep it, and you mentioned it's hot. Now you start getting on those guys early, and this is why they kept the ball. I mean, they went old school today. They won the toss, took the ball. What they wanted to do is drive the field, which they're doing now, and they wanted to get this running game going.
Second and 4. Quick screen, Vandenberg one-on-one on the edge, and a good open field tackle by Josh Birch.
Very good job by Birch. Let's go back and look at the difference in this offensive line in Iowa and the defensive front. You can see there's a 30-pound, 32-pound difference. The height is fine, but you pack a little bit of extra Iowa beef on those guys, and they're going to feel it, especially as this game goes on.
First game out of the gates and doing math in your head. It's a good start.
Not bad. I had to take my shoes off, though.
On 3rd and 2, Daniels tripped up short of the first down, and there's the guy we talked about at the top of the broadcast, Pat Meehan.
Yeah, and Plevo ran right past him. Meehan did a nice job of scraping from inside out. Good angle, very good angle. Now let's see if you. This is a test for Kirk Ferentz. Do you believe in what you got up front or not? You have a young group. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Well, last year, 14 conversions on 23 attempts. Both were the program's highest since 1999.
All right, so they're already spreading people out of the inside. They want to get that box a little lighter.
4th down and 2. First early big moment.
Kirk didn't like what he saw. He called timeout from the sidelines.
8:49 remaining in this first quarter. The Hawkeyes facing 4th and 2 in the first.
Leader in one-week fantasy football.
Fryfest over the weekend here in Iowa City, celebrating all things Hawkeye, kicking off the regular season. Coach Fry is with us in the press box somewhere today. Saw him earlier. Looks great.
Yeah,
always good to see him.
Yeah, always. Hayden Fry. He brought good football right back to Iowa again. They've played great football here for years, but Hayden was instrumental in keeping it going.
4th and 2, Matt Millen, what do you see here?
Well, I would try to take advantage of what I've been doing already. Now he's trying to get people out of the box. It's all about numbers on the inside, so there it is.
Quick slant, good catch, and a first down. First and goal for the Hawkeyes to Vaughn Smith. Moves the chains at the 9-yard line.
Simple throw. So what you want people to close to the line of scrimmage, and then just that, with your defenders sitting back, you come with that simple slant. It's an easy read and an easy throw for C.J. Beathard. But here's what you really saw. You saw confidence from the coaching staff saying our quarterback can make the throw in a tight situation.
Adam Cox, the fullback. Daniels, 5 carries for 41 yards on this opening drive for the Hawkeyes. Carry number 6 for Daniels. And he's dropped near the 6-yard line. Adam Conley, one of the new defensive tackles for the Redbirds, makes the stop. Both teams new on the interior of their defensive line this year.
One thing I'm seeing out of this Illinois State, this Redbird defense, their linebackers, their inside guys, they're not afraid to go find that fullback. There's been some great collisions so far.
And that's the strength of this team. Talking earlier in the week with Spence Nowitzki, he said all of our kids play with a little chip on their shoulder. They want to prove themselves on a big stage. Quarterback keep. Beathard to the end zone for the touchdown.
So you Hawkeye fans out there, if you had any questions about what they're going to do with Beathard and why they named him a starter so fast, that drive answered your questions. Just want to make sure he's in all the way. See if the knee doesn't touch beforehand. No, he's in.
Extra point is good from Marshall Kane, and what a start for the Iowa Hawkeyes. They won the toss, they took the ball, and they drove it down for 6. And so a good start for C.J. Beathard and the Iowa Hawkeyes up 7-0 early. 7-0 Iowa. You want to set a tone to start a season? How about a 13-play, 81-yard, 7-minute, 31-second touchdown drive?
And if you really want to put your grandfather in conflict, play like that against his son's defense.
Well, now he was happy about that. Now he can be happy about the offense of Illinois State as they get ready to take the field, perhaps. From the 3-yard line, trying to find a little running room, and there is not much there as we check in Chicago for a T-Mobile studio update.
Kevin, the rough week at Rutgers continues. The 5 players that were suspended from the team due to arrest on Thursday are now kicked off the team. Meanwhile, they are in a tie ball game early on with Norfolk State. Kev?
All right, Mike, thank you very much. It has been a tough go for the Scarlet Knights as Trey Roberson gets ready to take the field for the 2nd time in his college football career here at Kinnick Stadium. First time he was the first freshman to start at quarterback for Indiana. Now he's a senior starting for Illinois State.
Trey Roberson, he can beat you with his feet, like we mentioned, or his arm. But they're going to need something else. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a change of pace here and go hurry up.
Roberson using his wheels. Did he pull up there at the end at the 22-yard line? A little awkward hop as he tried to turn the corner. Looks like he's all right, but that looked awkward from the go.
He was trying to shake Nate Meyer, and Meyer had none of it. He wouldn't have anything to do with it. And then Maben came up and finished the thing off. That's good news. All week long they've preached, don't let him get to the edge. Meyer didn't allow it to happen.
Good protection on 2nd down. Good throw from Roberson. The catch by Anthony Warham. Josie Jewell with the stop, but a first down to the 37-yard line, 15 yards through the air.
Yeah, and enough time, but the ability to get the ball out quick, and that's what he did. Nice route, nice job of getting it out there. Now, if they're going to have any kind of time today throwing the football, Drew Ott is the guy that they're going to have to keep locked.
Ott bigger, stronger, faster, or so he told us yesterday when we sat down with him. Poised for a big senior season. Pressure from Ott as Roberson steps up and throws short, incomplete. That was Ott that forced Roberson to step up and throw over the middle.
Yeah. When I watch Drew Ott, number 95, what I see is a former All-American that played here in Jared DeVries. You're going to see him coming off the left side of your screen. Now, his first 2 steps are markedly better than they were a year ago. Having spoke to him yesterday, one of the things he said, that's what he's been working on in practice, was his get-off. And if he gets that down, that's a much improved player.
2nd down and 10. Coppridge, his first carry, breaks the tackle. Coppridge driven down at the 40-yard line. Greg Maben, he wasn't getting away from him.
Nah, he ran through Taylor, number 19, but Maben showed up with an attitude. I like that. That's good Iowa football. Head up, look at that. Drive through the shoulder, pick him up, slam him to the I like, hey, well done. got me excited on that one.
Good, clean, and powerful.
That is good stuff.
Got this crowd excited as well. Why wouldn't it?
Sets up a 3rd down.
And the play clock is at 9 as they break huddle. Roberson's got to hurry. Play clock at 2. 3rd down and 7. Roberson in trouble. He's so elusive, and he gets the 1st down. That's the danger of Trey Roberson. That's what had Phil Parker, the defensive coordinator, very concerned.
Well, it looked like they had Neiman 44 spying him, and Roberson, he faked him. I think I see Neiman's jockstrap down there at about the 40-yard line. See, watch him come up. He has him right in his sights, right there. You've got to drive through. You can't hesitate. But Roberson does a nice job of making a miss and picking up that 1st.
Into Hawkeye territory at the 49. Roberson with time, and he finds his man again. That's Michael Clements, the tight end. Jordan Lomax stops him short of the 1st down.
You know, one thing, I was watching the film of Roberson, sometimes he struggled on those outside routes. But in this game, 2 of them so far right on the money, and the one where he throws pretty well on the inside between the hashes, that one skipped.
We saw that a lot in what we were watching yesterday.
Exactly.
A lot of work in the middle of the field.
He's not afraid to go in there. This is good by Roberson. He's getting he still has 10 seconds on the clock, and he's getting them lined up the right way.
2nd down and 3. Coppridge running into a traffic jam. Hawkeyes clogging it up everywhere. Jaleel Johnson, the big man in the middle, stops him at the 43, and now another big 3rd down for Illinois State, 3rd and 4.
Yeah, so this is the 2nd time in this situation. They've got to be able, for Iowa, you've got to be able to take care of Roberson. He's the deal, whether it's his feet or whether it's his arm. So the last time in this situation, in 3rd and relatively short with 4 or 5 yards, his feet beat you, and they even had a spy on him.
Motion from Christian Gibbs. 4-man rush. Roberson incomplete. Looking to the outside. Greg Maben there again to keep Anthony Warham from pulling it in.
Maben this is a nice start to a game. Watch Maben. Okay, now keep the inside pressure. You have the outside to be your help. So the sideline becomes your extra defender.
And now Brock Spack says, I saw Iowa convert on 4th down. Let's see what we can do here.
I like the call. Gutsy.
4th down and 4. Roberson will pooch punt. He does it all.
That's a heck of a kick.
Can they save it?
Oh,
no,
great job.
What a play.
Great job.
Special teams from the offense. Christian Gibbs, the wide receiver, got down, made the play, and Iowa's pinned at the 1.
That could not have been executed any better. Great job. Understanding the rule. College football, it's where the ball is. He throws it back. That is perfect.
Christian Gibbs, big play for Illinois State. Iowa back to work. Plenty of Big Ten experience on your screen. Of course, Kirk Ferentz in his 17th season at Iowa. Brock Spack spent 12 years at Purdue with Joe Tiller as the defensive coordinator. This is his first head coaching job, and what a job he's done at Illinois State, taking him to the national title game last year.
He's done a great job, and he's done it with that defensive mentality that you see throughout his team. And that's got a good toughness.
Somehow I feel like you and Brock Spack would get along just fine.
I like his mustache.
Hawkeyes pinned at their own 1-yard line, and Beathard's just going to try to get a little breathing room out to the 3-yard line, a pickup of 2. Tonight, national powers collide on the volleyball court in a doubleheader. Colorado takes on Illinois. Then Coach Russ Rose's top-ranked Penn State hosts number 2 Stanford. Coverage starts at 5:30 Eastern, presented by Tachikara on BTN and BTN to go.
It's a little-known fact there, Nami, that they had no volleyball team until I got there.
You started the volleyball program.
Thank you very much.
I had no idea you could do Cliff Clavin. This has become a great season already.
It's because I look like him.
Daniels. Little step through. And Daniels able to get the first down to the 13-yard line. Working hard to get 10.
Yeah, but what you're seeing is things you can't teach. And when you have a running back, you have to have that. I like to call it runner's patience. Look at this. That's just a thing of beauty. He's just staying behind his offensive line, doing a nice job, staying behind Sean Welsh, and letting him do the blocking and all the hard work. He just keeps the feet moving. That's really well done.
Excellent start for one of the question marks for Iowa, that running game. Daniels 54 yards already. Beathard off play action over the middle. Open is Hillier, and Hillier with another first down to the 31-yard line. The Iowa offense moving it again as we check in with Lisa Byington.
Kind of like what C.J. Beathard did in that first series, and a lot of congratulations on the sideline after that Iowa score, including from the head coach Kirk Ferentz, who weaved his way through the sideline to make sure he congratulated his quarterback, told him that's what we expected of you. And remember, Ferentz told us yesterday that he feels like C.J. Beathard has matured from January until now about 5 years.
Well, and it's got to be an easy maturation, probably not easy, but a good maturation process with the decision being made as quickly as it was to go with Beathard. Threw that one away looking for Hillier, but they made the decision right away, Matt. You're our guy, and he was the guy all the way through spring, summer, and fall.
Well, Kirk and Greg Davis knew what they had, and nobody else did, and that's fine. And so that's why I said after the first drive, for all those question marks, Iowa fans are saying, why'd they do it? You know, he only has one start, not a lot of experience. He showed it right away, and you could see Ferentz has great confidence in him. Even that play right there, just throwing the ball away, live for another down, that's good football.
His first incompletion of this ball game. Little shovel for Canzeri. Canzeri picked his way through traffic, and a big gain, hurdling the tackler into Illinois State territory.
And I watched Canzeri since he's gotten here. And there's something about that kid I just like. I always have. He's got a little bit of extra in him. This is a nice job shoveling through, making sure he gets the ball. But he's pretty good in the open field. One thing you always get out of Canzeri is all he's got. I think that's the part that I like about him most.
Well, he said he's finally healthy. He must feel healthy going into the air. Well, ankle and heel injuries last year. He's just been beset by the injury bug.
He keeps playing like that, he won't be healthy long.
Daniels on first down. Good pursuit, and he's dropped for a 1-yard loss. That's Pat Meehan again. Boy, does he fly to the football. So Meehan, the team captain, along with Alex Donnelly in there to make the stop on LaShawn Daniels, and that is going to be how the first quarter comes to an end. A very good start for the Iowa Hawkeyes, 137 yards and a 7-0 lead. Hot and steamy in Iowa City this afternoon, but a good start for the Hawkeyes through one quarter, a 7-0 lead over Illinois State with Matt Millen and Lisa Byington. I'm Kevin Kugler. Great to have you with us as we start off the college football season at Kinnick Stadium. Hawkeyes working here on 2nd down and 10. Good balance so far, 8 pass plays, 11 rushes through one quarter of play. Beathard 7 for 8 on the afternoon, a little wobbler as he got knocked on the pass as we go to Chicago for a T-Mobile studio update.
Hey, Kev, there was a QB battle all August long at Maryland. Perry Hills won it, but instead of throwing to a wide receiver, he's handed off to one. Laverne Jacobs into the end zone, and it's a 10-0 early lead for the Terps over the always feisty Spiders.
One thing you can count on, my call, is that a Spider will indeed be feisty, especially early in the football season.
Especially those brown redcoats, man. They're brutal.
3rd down and 10 at the 48 of Illinois State. Beathard steps away from the pressure.
Got him wide open.
And he found him at the 32-yard line. Good throw, good finish. Matt Vandenberg with the catch and a first down for the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Yeah, and the reason he's able to find Vandenberg across is because of his feet. And that's one of the things that this Iowa team like to talk about. Now you're going to see this inside, and it's going to break down. And so what's he do? He escapes to the outside. So he uses his feet extremely well, but watch him. His eyes are down the field, finding the receiver coming across, and that's a big first down.
From the 31 on first down, Daniels got a block, just upended as he crosses the 25-yard line by Drashane Glass. We talked at the top of the broadcast, Matt, about the youngsters in the O-line for Iowa. What do you see so far?
Well, I think they've got to be very pleased. Keep in mind, they are enjoying physically a big difference. 30 pounds per man across the board. Well, you're starting 3 sophomores. Both tackles are young, and the left guard is also young. And they have done, so far, an outstanding job. They've not let anybody come clean, but in the run game, this is what you wanted to see.
Second down and 1. Quick screen. Good catch. Vandenberg dancing down the sideline. Vandenberg spinning inside the 5. First and goal, Iowa.
You are seeing a completely different Iowa team. And if you watched Michigan the other night, you saw Jake Rudock. This is not the Jake Rudock team. Not to disparage the kid, but this ball is coming out extremely well. He's extending plays. He's making smart plays. We said this offense would go as far, and this team would go as far as Beathard. Well, he's got a great start.
Riley McCarron split to the bottom of your screen on first down and goal. Daniels with the carry. Daniels met and driven back by Pat Meehan. He has played a whale of a first half anchoring Illinois State.
Yeah, Meehan, number 33, is not a real big guy, 225 pounds. Let me tell you what he has. He has great instincts. He believes his eyes, and that's important for a backer. Generally, linebackers are washed out running backs. I'll bet you he was a running back at one time because he's anticipating things very well. He knows how to find the football. That's a good football player.
He started at Illinois State as a special teams specialist. Worked his way into that starting role. Second and goal at the 5. Kanziri with the carry. Kanziri into the end zone for the touchdown.
Kev, you have to understand it's about numbers. And so what Iowa does, Greg Davis is the offensive coordinator. He gets 3 receivers to one side, and he spreads that defense and skews it to their defensive right. And then he takes advantage of the lesser numbers in the box, and Kanziri gets 6.
Last year, Matt, Kanziri, 102 carries. Did not have a touchdown all last year. It was the most carries among all FBS running backs without a touchdown. He's not going to let that happen in 2015.
Then he's going to get to the sideline, and they're going to say it's about time. Yeah, this is all Kanziri running with his eyes. Really well done.
A 14-0 lead for the Iowa Hawkeyes, and it's hard to be more impressed by a team than what we've seen early from Iowa on the offensive side. They had a ton of questions offensively. They're answering a lot of them. Granted, against an FCS team, but a very good one.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. Good. This is what they're supposed to do. A good football team does this.
And a good kickoff through the uprights and a touchback. Let's go back to the touchdown.
Yeah, it's all about numbers. Let me show you. See how they deploy. Look, they're deploying 4 guys to the left side. Okay, and so this guy you can take out of it. So that's essentially 5 guys. So you have 6 linemen against 5 guys inside. And so the left side of the offensive line does a nice job. Kanziri, all he has to beat is that safety deployed to the left side. He's got to beat him to the middle of the field. That's just really well done on that left side. That was Boone Myers, the sophomore we were talking about, number 52. And 79, Sean Welsh did a nice job. But once they sealed the inside along with Austin Blythe, their center, it was all Kanziri to the second level.
So now Trey Roberson back to work at the 25-yard line after the touchback. Pressure up the middle. Roberson can't get away, and the first sack of the year for Drew Ott.
He even celebrates like Jared DeVries. He looks. Drew Ott, number 95. He's your right defensive end. And what he does very well, he's got a motor. And he uses his hands well. But he's worked on his get-off. Now, once Jaleel Johnson shoves him to the outside, Ott just tracks him down. That's well done.
Saw a little bit of the explosion that Phil Parker told us yesterday Jaleel Johnson had on that play.
Yeah.
Exploding up the middle. 2nd and 21 after the sack. Pressure again. The screen is set up. And cut it back to the 21-yard line. A gain of 7 on a play that looked like it could have more. Next weekend, Matt, Lisa, and I are in Columbus for Ezekiel Elliott and the top-ranked Buckeyes home opener against Hawaii. Coverage starts at 3:30 Eastern next weekend, presented by Safelite Auto Glass on BTN and BTN to go.
Kevin, what you just said is 100% true. Desmond King just made a heck of a play because there was nobody out there except 3 blockers. King got off his block, came back inside, and sets up this 3rd down.
3rd and long, 3rd and 14 at the 21. Illinois State 1 for 2 on 3rd down, but they're not going to get this one. The ball is bobbled and out after the sack. It's picked up by Dan Pollock, who rumbles forward to the 19-yard line, but Drew Ott wreaking havoc in the Illinois State backfield.
Yeah, Drew Ott this time, he's going to use his speed to the top side. And, you know, this is against Dan Pollock, 76. Once you get hip to hip, you win. And his get-off, what he's been working on the whole time, is what put him in that position. Nicely done by Drew Ott. He told me he wanted to get 15 sacks. He's 2 down. He only needs 13 more.
When you say hip to hip,
right,
tell me what you're talking about.
So what you're saying is, as I get my first 2 steps, the offensive player's going to try to get my hands on you. Try to get to his shoulder. And once you get that shoulder to your shoulder, you get my hip to your hip. Once I'm hip to hip, I can go forward faster than you can go backwards. I'm going to win.
Timeout taken by Illinois State. They're going to regroup before the punt. Time was winding down. They got to regroup because Drew Ott was in the backfield more than the Redbirds offense. Now Kinnick welcoming you back to the campus of the University of Iowa in Iowa City. Iowa Heisman Trophy winner. As we welcome you inside Kinnick Stadium, Kirk Ferentz and Brock Spack, the 2 head coaches, rocking horns today as the punt comes from Reese Added to Desmond King at the 43-yard line. King creating some space, and King with a good return to the 42 of Illinois State as we go to Chicago for a T-Mobile studio update.
He's in College Park. Richmond answers right away. Jacoby Green pops it in from a couple yards out. That means Turtles over Arachnids just by 3 right now as they enter the 2nd quarter.
Mike, thank you. Appreciate you keeping us up to date on everything going on around the league on a busy opening weekend for college football. 14-0. Iowa with excellent field position at the 41-yard line of Illinois State. Smith, the motion man. Beathard with time, nobody open, he'll tuck it and run. And Beathard dodging out of bounds after a pickup of 4 at the 37-yard line. As you know, I'm working with a...
But Drew Ott has led the charge, and they've been terrific so far.
2nd and 6 for the Iowa offense. Kanziri picking through a hole on the left side, and down near the 30-yard line goes Jordan Kanziri. How about Drew Ott's start to the season?
He said he wanted to get 15 sacks. He's off to a great start. This is his 2nd one. And it's not only the pass rush and the sacks, it's the constant pressure. And it's the attitude that he brings to the rest of that defensive line. You know, he's playing a pass rushing position as a right defensive end. He's probably best as a left defensive end. But I'll tell you what, it's a great start to the season.
1st down and 10 at the 30-yard line. Great protection for Beathard again off the fingertips of Kanziri, incomplete at the 24-yard line. But you've talked a lot, as we have, about this offensive line in this first half. And I've noticed 2 things. One, the running plays that in the first quarter maybe were 2 or 3 yards are now 5 and 6 yards. And the protection that Beathard's getting, he's nowhere, there's nobody near him.
Yeah, that's a great observation, Kev, because you watch this last series of downs. he had all kinds of time. He was able to take his time and find his read. And then when he didn't have time, he's able to use his feet and get out, create extra time.
It is extremely hot today, and that Illinois State defense already hurt in a depth situation because FCS versus FBS. They've been out on the field all half long. Pass incomplete, looking for Tavon Smith, and now third down.
Beathard's pass is intended for Tavon Smith.
Errant passes from Beathard, and a 3rd and 10 coming up for Iowa. Iowa with an 81-yard scoring drive and a 99-yard scoring drive. Third down and 10. Kanziri motioning out of the backfield. Beathard with time again over the middle, and a big hit to break it up. Alex Donnelly timing it perfectly, jarred it loose from Jacob Hilliard.
He was just what we call robbing the middle. He's just sitting there. He didn't move at all. But I'll tell you what else didn't move. That receiver didn't move. That receiver didn't move either. They're going to try to sneak him back on the underneath side. Yeah, he showed up in a pretty good attitude. That is well done.
So now Marshall Kane will come on to try a 48-yard field goal. His long a year ago was 52, so this is certainly in his range, and he's going to fake it. Kane on the run, lunging, but he's going to be short of the first down. Ferrett's trying all the tricks in this early going.
To the delight of the crowd. They just got stuffed. But listen to this crowd. They are excited. They're seeing something different from Iowa. You know, the Iowa faithful were very unsettled this offseason. Kirk Ferentz told them, look, settle down. We're going to be a different team. And here's evidence of what a different team looks like.
The Buffalo Wild Wings trip to the Big Ten Championship sweepstakes.
Iowa does not convert on a fake punt. The crowd gives the Hawkeyes a standing ovation for a failed fake punt.
Yeah.
But we were talking about this during the break, Matt. As well as Iowa has played, if Illinois State can get something going here,
right,
it's a ball game.
And it's on the shoulders of Trey Roberson. We said it at the start. And it's really, he's been the whole offense the first half.
Roberson trying to turn the corner, and he cannot turn away from Cole Fisher as we check in downstairs with Lisa Bynes.
Kevin and Matt, something to keep an eye on. Trey Roberson in that last series, we got hit hard by Drew Ott. Walked off the field and was really tending to his right hand, mostly his thumb and his wrist area, holding it the entire time. Illinois State here was on the sidelines, so keep an eye on that in his return here in Iowa City.
Well, Lisa, I'll tell you one thing. They weren't shy about calling his number right away because they put the ball right back in his hand and tried to get him to run to the right side. Fisher did a nice job of putting an end to that.
Second down and 10. Pressure again. Wobbly throw as a result, and the pass incomplete. Just as he threw that one, he had pressure right around the ankles from Nate Meyer.
Nate Meyer and Drew Ott. Those have been the two guys. They have been owning the offensive tackles of the Redbirds. Now it sets up a third down. They have to show up again.
On a shout out to anybody playing 8-man high school football in the nation, 3 of the 4 starters on the Iowa defensive line were 8-man football players. Third and 10. Pressure coming, and Roberson had no chance at all. Ott and then Johnson to close the deal.
Yeah, Jill Johnson finished it up, but Drew Ott had a great first 2 steps. It wasn't even close. This thing is over after 3 steps. This is how you win. See that? It wasn't even, he didn't even move. He didn't have a chance to get out of his stance. Dan Pollock was still in his stance, and Ott seemingly had the snap count. And that's the difference in the play.
Resetted to punt it away with Desmond King back at the 45. King at the 49. Desmond King leaping to the 42-yard line, and Iowa's going to start right where they started on their previous possession, in very good shape in Illinois State territory.
Well, this Iowa defense showed up. In particular, this front. This front has dictated the game.
Today's United States Marine leader of the game is Iowa Hawkeye wide receiver Jon Smith, who put his unique talents into the record book and a member of the 16-player Iowa leadership group. And the record book that we talk about was, there was a viral video. I'm sure many of you Hawkeye fans have watched it multiple times. Jon Smith in a minute catches 41 passes one-handed, drops him in a garbage can. And we asked Kirk Ferentz about that yesterday, and he said, yeah, who was defending him? Daniels, nice little stutter, but he's caught from behind at the 40-yard line. Lisa Byington?
Yeah, well, that video is pretty impressive to watch. I don't care at this point what Kirk Ferentz says about that.
That rarely seems to happen in college football.
Kind of hard to find.
Daniels had a crease for a moment, but it closed quickly. There's Teddy Corwin, a guy who's expected to play a very big role this year for Illinois State.
Yeah, well, he's having his hands full today with his young offensive line. Really, if you would have broken that play down, what you saw is a tired defense. You can see Corwin right there is starting to get to him. But the young guard, Sean Welsh, really was responsible for that tackle. He didn't get out of Deshaun's way.
Good protection again. Look at the time Beathard has. And incomplete. Good coverage downfield. Let's head to Chicago, a T-Mobile studio update.
Kev, it's the battle of Smart and Evanston, Stanford and Northwestern, and look at Clayton Thorson on a 3rd and 7. The redshirt freshman QB with his first start of his career, and now he's got a touchdown too. 42 yards, and the Cats are up 10-3.
One of the things you never have to worry about when Mike and I are on BTN at the same time, a battle of smart happening. Fortunately, Stanford and Northwestern are covering that for us. 4th down, punt time for Dylan Kidd.
A little bit different formation than they've done in the past.
Changing things up after some struggles in the punt game a year ago. This will go into the end zone for the touchback. So the 2 best field position starts for the day for Iowa have resulted in nothing on the scoreboard. The 2 worst starts, 81 and 99-yard touchdown drives.
And we're right back to where we were just a few minutes ago when we said, look, one score here turns us into a game. So Illinois State is not out of it whatsoever.
Now Brock's back and his offense trying to get it going. Kurt Beathard, the offensive coordinator. Of course, we've talked about him, his uncle, the uncle of C.J. Beathard, the Iowa quarterback. A lot of family ties for Coach Spack. His first recruiting trip out of high school was right here for Coach Fry in Iowa City. I asked him why he didn't come here. He says, yeah, that's a good question. Nobody's ever really asked me. There's Coppridge. I haven't seen much of Coppridge today, and when we have, it's usually ended like that. Good play by Parker Hesse closing in along with Josie Jewell. Spack, the head man in charge. 3-year linebacker at Purdue, all Big Ten Conference linebacker in his playing days. He was with Joe Tiller for over a decade at Purdue, and his first head coaching job, how about a 46-26 record at a national championship game?
Yeah, all he needs to do is get a couple more players. He has this program doing extremely well.
Coppridge bobbled that handoff, able to get it in control to the 25-yard line. Hesse on the stop. You know, for Brock Spack, we had to bring out a little bit of the Purdue footage as the defensive coordinator. Oh, he did a good job with those Purdue teams. It's very good football teams they had at Purdue during his time.
And he's a teacher. Inevitably, that's what it comes down to. Your best coaches are always your best teachers.
Well, one thing he's taught is he's taught this team how to win. That was not something they had a lot of experience with before he got there.
They're going to have to win on this 3rd down.
The screen set up for Coppridge. He got a block, and he got the first down. Coppridge out at the 32. Desmond King with the tackle. First down of the second quarter for Illinois State.
They need to sustain some drives. They need to wear this Iowa defense down a little bit, but more importantly, give their defense a rest.
Iowa has had 16 minutes time of possession in this first half. The fullback Brady Tibbetts with the carry, and Tibbetts churning to the 37, Josie Jewell on the tackle.
Watching Josie Jewell, I like this kid. I think he's got something to him. When he's kind of like Meehan. He sees the ball and reads pretty well. You don't usually see that at the college level to the extent that these guys do it.
There's not much memorable from that Tax Slayer Bowl that Iowa played in against Tennessee last year, but his performance was one of them. He had 14 tackles.
The outlaw Josie Jewell.
2nd and 6. Little cutback. Nice vision by Coppridge to see that hole and get it to the 44-yard line for the first.
And it looks like they're settling in. Okay, so now sometimes what happens when you have, keep in mind, they have a young offensive line as well. There's 3 sophomores starting there. And so sometimes you come into a stadium where your home team is 13,000. You come to Kinnick Stadium and it's 70,000, and the game feels really big, like too big. It takes a while to settle in till you realize, all right, I can block this guy, I can handle this guy.
Roberson on the keep. Boy, not much running room there, and he just made the most of that. Gets 3 to the 47. Coming up, it's the Buffalo Wild Wings halftime report. The gang will get you caught up with a busy week 1 on the college scene, and they'll break down our first half as well. It's coming up on the Buffalo Wild Wings halftime report. Second down and 7 for Illinois State. Under 2 minutes to go in this first half. Tibbetts in motion. Blitz coming. Roberson gets away from Neiman. Roberson to the edge, and the ball knocked out of his hands and out of bounds by Parker Hesse.
One of the things that Iowa stressed all week long is do not let the quarterback get to the edge. And so far in this game, they've done a pretty good job. They bring that blitz off the right side with Neiman 44. While he misses to the top side and forces them to the sideline. They do a nice job of running him down. Sets up this 3rd and long.
3rd down and 9 at the 45. 2 for 5. The Redbirds on 3rd down. Roberson throws, and there's a flag. The pass is incomplete, intended for Anthony Warham, but the flag is thrown from behind the play, and it'll be pass interference.
I'd be curious to see if he didn't have
ruling on the play was an incomplete pass. Pass interference. Defense number 13. Spot foul results in an automatic 1st down.
It's Greg Babin, who's had a terrific first half here. I'm not so sure he didn't catch this ball. See if he gets his hands underneath it. One hand. That's a catch.
Oh, no.
That's where it's not. It's a great effort, though. Anthony Warham is that guy who they trust his hands exclusively. That time he only had one hand.
Roberson with protection, but he couldn't get it to Warham on the sideline. 1:32 remaining in the first half. First real sustained offense we've seen from Illinois State since their opening possession, where they were able to get a couple of first downs.
Which is what they need to do. They're accomplishing giving their defense a rest. Now they have to punctuate it with getting a score.
Second down and 10. Clemens, the motion man for Illinois State. Roberson all day to throw, looking deep, and a jump ball deflected, and flags come flying from all over the place. Desmond King and Jordan Lomax were both there on the coverage.
King has his hands up because he doesn't know Lomax is the one who they're calling the flag on.
Pass interference, defense, number 27, 15-yard penalty, results in an automatic first down.
See, that you have to call that. See, Desmond King is closing from the right side of your screen. He's not aware of where Lomax is. Lomax goes up and gets into space and makes contact, and that's what they're going to call. It's the right call.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy call for the officials. You saw laundry from all angles on that.
But had Lomax had the wherewithal to get his head around, he would have had a chance at a pick as well.
So now, as we talked about earlier, as well as Iowa's played in this first half, Illinois State trying to make it interesting. 10th play of the drive. Roberson to the sideline, and it's incomplete, looking for Warham once more. Jaleel Johnson provided the heat, forcing Roberson to the edge.
Did he get the foot in? He did not.
Both teams, keep in mind, have 2 timeouts. You're down to 1:17. You've got to manage the clock, but most importantly here, they have to get points. Even if it's 3, you have to get points before you go in at half.
Illinois State with a new kicker, Sean Slattery, has not attempted a field goal in college. Roberson, protection this time, throwing for the end zone, and it's almost intercepted. Laying out to try to pull it in was Maurice Fleming. Nearly had a spectacular pick.
And had that ball been thrown a little better, Fleming was beat to the top side. He threw a flat ball, and Fleming's able to make a play on it. He let him get to the top side. Had that ball gone over the top a little bit, could have been a chance at a 6. Big third down here. On second down, Iowa comes with a blitz. See what happens here.
Illinois State did a pretty good job of picking that blitz up, allowing Roberson to throw.
They're sitting in the zone right now.
On third down, 4-man rush, pressure coming from Ott. He gets away. Roberson in trouble, slips down back at the 39-yard line. A devastating slip for Illinois State because it takes them out of any chance at a field goal here.
Yeah, that just took them back to a 58-yard field goal, which isn't going to happen. Instead, they're going to have to try to go for it here on 4th down. Yeah, right here, if you're Iowa, you may want to think about calling a timeout, which they just did.
So Kirk Ferentz calls timeout to save a little time for his offense, up 14.
Saturday.
Matt Millen, it's 4th down for Illinois State, back at the 38-yard line of Iowa. It's an interesting decision here for Brock Spack. You're kind of in no man's land.
Yeah, and so do you go for it, try to get the first and give him decent field position with, yeah, say 30, probably 38 seconds left, or do you kick it? And so here's what you got to think. The last 2 series, we've held this offense. But keep in mind, if you don't get it right here, if you don't get it, you're opening yourself up to Beathard completely. It's just going to be all throws, and he's had a pretty good hand.
Now, flags have been thrown.
Too many guys in the field.
And there were 12 men on the field for Iowa.
Illegal substitution, 12 players on the defense, 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
Now, does that change? They were going to go for it, perhaps, although we saw a pooch punt from that same situation in the first half, in the first quarter, rather.
Well, you went from about 58 to 53. So all you really did was give yourself another chance. Now it's 4th and about 15 or 14. 14.
And now a timeout is going to be taken by Brock Spack.
So now it's a different play call.
I wonder what he was going to call before. Was it going to be the pooch? Was it going to be...
I know one thing he was going to call. He was going to say, hey, block that number 95.
Good luck. Coming up, our Buffalo Wild Wings halftime report. Dave and the gang ready to get you caught up on a busy week 1. Our first half breakdowns. I would assume that a good portion of the Buffalo Wild Wings halftime report will be, here's something else Drew Ott did in that first half.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's had a heck of a first half. It's a good way to start his season. And what a great guy. We had a chance to talk to him yesterday. Just a regular, everyday guy with a beard. You know, one of those guys. This is before the beard. He took a full egg, with the shell on, and show you just how good that tastes.
So it's almost like a glimpse into our production meetings before each game.
And now they're going to try it. They're going to kick a 50. Ooh, that's kind of short there. I guess that's 7 yards.
50-yard try for Sean Slattery. Slattery's a sophomore from Rockford, Illinois. His long as a high school senior was 45. Good snap, good hold, and that one's not going to get there at all.
Yeah, it got tipped. It got tipped. You needed to get your hands up because the trajectory of that kick changes the further you go. Now they're going to get the ball back. They got it. Somebody got a hand on it.
Ott was there. The first half that Drew Ott has had, I would assume it was Drew Ott who got a fingertip on that.
Now the ball comes back to the place.
See if we can tell here.
It wasn't Drew.
Whoever got it didn't get much of it.
No.
It was kind of a wobbler off the foot.
So the trajectory was very low. The field position now is better than what they would have had.
One timeout remains for Iowa. They set up the screen for Kanziri. Kanziri, nice cutback. Kanziri to the edge, got a block. Kanziri inside the 20 and out of bounds.
And that, my friends, is why you kick it. You punt it, I should say. That was set up beautifully, and it was really well executed by the quarterback. Look how he draws them in, dumps it off, picks up his blocks on the outside, and in Kanziri is a very nice open field runner. Good block on the backside on the one guy who could have gotten to it by Smith, and now you have a chance at 6.
51-yard reception for Jordan Kanziri. From the 16. Good protection again for Beathard, and that swabbles out of bounds.
He threw that away. That's a good move. Live for another down.
Hard to pinpoint a mistake that C.J. Beathard has made in this first half.
No, and he's had some pressure that he's had to be able to get out of, and he's done that well. He's always kept his eyes down the field. He's made some big throws on the run. I think this is exactly what Coach Ferentz was looking for and expected.
Second and 10. Always got it. Kanziri just couldn't pull it in. That pressure got to Beathard, and Beathard a little bit slow getting up. Kanziri was nudged out of bounds. This crowd thought there should have been some laundry for that.
Yeah, so you're going to make a decision on the coverage and how they decide to do it. He throws it back underneath to Kanziri, but on the top side, he's got a chance. He's going to get somebody here and here. It's the levels. They try to play the levels. And Kanziri is going to be the guy who gets the ball, but I want you to watch the top level. Oh, to it. Top level is wide open. They had him in between. He dumped it off. That had a chance at 6.
Third down and 10. Beathard to the end zone looking for Smith, and the pass is incomplete.
Good coverage.
Flags down at the line of scrimmage.
Usually in the area of the offensive line holding.
Right at the feet of Sean Welsh. See if he's the guy who committed that penalty. As Todd Gearlings indicated, it is against Iowa. A personal foul to boot.
Personal foul. Hands to the face. Offense number 79. 15-yard penalty. Repeat third down.
Sean Welsh, you see him, number 79. He's going to take that inside move, and he does help himself to the throat just a little bit. Hey, here, look, all you fans out there, anytime an offensive lineman or defensive lineman put their hands up like I didn't do anything, they did something.
And when there's 3 flags right around your feet in a semicircle, you've got a pretty good idea as to, even I can figure out who that flag's on. So
here's the thing. Right now, he doesn't have to get the whole thing back. He just needs to get down in around the 20-yard line to put them in a better field goal spot.
3rd and 25 is exactly what he did. as called by Matt Millen. He found his man right over the middle, Matt Vandenberg. Got it to the 22-yard line, and that sets up Marshall Kane with 1 second left in the half.
That was smart. Get it back inside.
So the end of half field goal coming up for Marshall Kane with 1 second remaining. Perfect execution by Iowa to get in this field goal position.
Now punctuated with this field goal, and that's a pretty successful first half.
Marshall Kane, after that slow start last year, I don't have to tell Hawkeye fans that. He missed 3 of his first 4 field goals, but all of a sudden, the light turned on, and over his last 11 of last year, Marshall Kane hit 11 of his final 12 field goal attempts. Now today, Marshall Kane has not attempted a field goal, but he does have a career best 8-yard run. Got him a standing ovation. 40-yard try for Kane as the half comes to a close. The kick by Kane is good, and Iowa puts a cherry on top of a very solid start to the 2015 season. The Iowa Hawkeyes rack up over 250 total yards and lead at halftime over Illinois State 17-0 on BTN. With the lead, before we get the third quarter started, let's check in with Lisa Byington.
There were some questions about C.J. Beathard. Evaluate his first half for me.
He's done a nice job. He's throwing the ball well and doing a good job with his feet. And most importantly, just running the team well.
For Drew Ott to have continued success in the second half, he has to do what?
Just keep playing. You know, he's done a great job all his whole career, but this camp he's done a nice job.
All right, thank you.
Really like what he had to say there about Beathard.
Our Quicken Loans quarterback comparison brought to you by, as you might imagine, Quicken Loans. And he talked about the leadership of C.J. Beathard. As you look at the numbers, that's important, but they've been stressing that leadership all camp long.
Yeah, running the team well is how he put it. And that was an element that was not here. And once you have that, and he does run the team well, it pays dividends, as you're seeing so far.
Excellent kickoff again from Kane as it goes through the end zone for the touchback. Now, on Illinois State's side, if you're Brock Spack and offensive coordinator Kurt Beathard, how do you jumpstart this offense between Roberson and Coppers? Because we know those are going to be the 2 guys who touch the ball in most scenarios.
Yeah, so what they're going to have to do is they have to sustain drives. And so you don't have to get the big play. You know, so just chip away at it. 4 or 5 yards, get a first down. Another first down. That's how you do it. And so you're still going to have to incorporate his feet to get him on the edges and things like that. But you don't have to get it all at once. You just have to just chip at it.
From the 25, first down. Coppers in the arms of Jaleel Johnson after a 2-yard game. And Lisa, you had a chance to check in with Brock Spack as well, right?
I did, and he was frustrated with how much they were getting beat at the line of scrimmage. And I said, how do you counter against a Drew Ott? Look for them here in the second half. He said, we might have to add a tight end on his side. So, Matt, I'm curious about your opinion on that. It's something that they weren't able to do in the first half.
Yeah, you know, at least they did it once or twice that I saw. And when they did do it, now here they are, they're doing it with a double tight end to that side. But when they did that, the tight end never really got the chip. That's what you want. And here they're trying to block him, and he does.
Successfully, but there is Jewell to clean it up after just a 2-yard gain at the 29-yard line.
Okay, so they come with a 2 tight end set to that side. And so watch Ott. So he's going to try to beat the tight end to the inside, but watch what he does well. Spins back out of it. And why is that important? Because he didn't give him the edge. And there's help inside, but not outside. Ott, that time, does a nice job of securing the edge and forces this third down.
And you saw the great shot by our crew. Coppers was going that way, and all of a sudden there's 95. Back the other way where Jewell cleans it up. On third down, backside pressure. Roberson steps away, got a run. Nice move, and he lunges for the first.
Perfect. Now, so you get to third down in a passing situation, and you left Drew Ott one-on-one on the outside. So what happens? Ott forces him out of the pocket. But he has the wherewithal that time to understand where the marker is, and he does get the first down. But look at the jump he's getting. It's off the tight end. All that does is Pollock is He's got to get a better kick. He's not getting a kick at all. He's got to get back. He's beating him to the top edge every time. So force him back underneath if you can.
Is there any chance Dan Pollock doesn't close his eyes tonight and see number 95?
Here he goes back inside. Oh, boy.
Going deep for Fowler, and the pass incomplete. Fowler was running stride for stride with Greg Mabin.
Mabin, both these corners, King and Mabin, have played well here today. They've been getting pressure, so that's good. The pressure has been mostly from Drew Ott. Meyer a little bit. But Mabin had a strong start of the game, and he continues it.
You're still excited about that hit Mabin had in the first quarter where he upended that guy, aren't you?
That was nice.
2nd and 10 at the 37. Kopperich slips down. He wasn't going to go very far even without the slip. Ben Neiman covers him up after a 2-yard loss.
This defensive line, you know, Lisa was talking about it. She's 100% right. Lisa was saying how they're getting beat. Now, Spack was not excited about getting beat up front. This defensive front is doing what it should do. And they're doing it well. Now, we're talking about Drew Ott, but Jaleel Johnson's doing it. Meyer's been doing it. It's been a solid group right across the board, and they've been able to get pressure with only 4 people, which allows them to be able to do coverage behind it.
3rd down and 12, and there's movement. And boy,
why do you think that was?
Pollock seeing Drew Ott before.
Ball start, offense, number 76, 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
Okay, so here's what's happening in Pollock's head. So this is what happens. So see, he's going to get that get off. Pollock here. Pollock knows he's got to get that first step. It's a kick. And so that kick, you got to get 1 kick, 2 kicks to get your hands on it. What's happening is he has not, Drew Ott has been beating him to that first kick, and then he's in complete control.
Oh, slipped inside as they set up the screen to Kopperich. Kopperich got a block, and Kopperich cannot break the tackle of Jordan Lomax, who saves the 1st down.
Budgeta had a chance from inside out, but he needed help from the outside to get back inside. He just couldn't quite get there.
So it is 4th down, 4th and 4. And the punt team comes on for Illinois State. Reese added, who began at Husson College in Maine, native of Australia. Redshirted last year, Desmond King back for Iowa.
They're going to run to the right here and then kick it.
Short, wobbly punt. Not a good one from Added. It'll go towards the sideline. Oh, I'm a glass half full kind of guy.
I'm half empty. That was a shank, let me tell you.
Later today, college football returns to Fox as the 13th ranked UCLA Bruins take on upset-minded Virginia. Then tomorrow on Fox Sports 1, the Boilermakers travel to Marshall in a non-conference road test. Coverage begins at 3:30 p.m. Eastern on Fox, and tomorrow at 3 Eastern on Fox Sports 1.
I had that Virginia-UCLA game a year ago. UCLA had to score 3 times on defense to beat that Virginia team.
What a tough start for Purdue. On the road at Marshall.
The herd's always good.
Daniels met in the backfield and driven back. Good penetration by Illinois State. Alejandro Rivera got there first along with David Perkins. And Iowa, when they've scored their touchdowns today, Matt, it's been on long, sustained drives.
They've had a big play in all of those things, whether it's a screen play or Beathard taking off and running or a big 3rd down completion. But he's been able to convert. They've been able to convert a big 3rd down.
2nd and 12. Beathard off play action.
Out of time.
Beathard will just run, make something out of nothing as he turned the corner to the 43. 6-yard pickup on the scramble by C.J. Beathard.
That sets up about 3rd and 6. 3rd and 5.
Well, that's the element that Beathard brings that Iowa's very excited about. They want him to be able to feel like he can use his legs. They just don't want him to use his legs to get himself into trouble.
Yeah, you don't have to be known for it. You just have to be able to do it.
3rd down and 5. Blitz up the middle. Beathard hit as he throws, and it was almost intercepted as it deflected off the lineman. David Kenny nearly picked it off of the deflection from the lineman's helmet.
They got the pressure. He wanted Tanziri. See the back going out of the backfield? He had him beat on an arrow route. But guess who? There with a hit. Meehan's played himself a really good game. Well, that's a good football player.
115 tackles a year ago. Came in as a preseason All-American. Spence Nowinski, the defensive coordinator, said no doubt he is our leader on defense. We've seen that leadership today. Line drive punt from Dylan Kidd. And it'll go into the end zone for the touchback. So Illinois State, after the 56-yard punt from Dylan Kidd, will go back to work with 10 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Trailing Iowa on the road 17-0. It's a family affair today on BT over the summers. Today just on opposite sides. Zone read, which we've not seen much of today from Illinois State. Roberson able to take it up near the 24-yard line.
You know, one of the dangers when you have a running quarterback that you know you're going to run is every time he runs, you treat him as a running back and you beat him. He's getting up gingerly right here.
Yeah, he had to take a timeout.
That's not good. Hopefully he's just cramping.
9:41 to go in the 3rd. The collective hopes of the Illinois State Redbirds today and this season rest on that man's legs. Right now those legs are hurting.
Yeah, well, that looks like a cramp. See, when he's doing that, when he's pulling it up, looks like maybe his calf is cramped or something like that.
Well, they tend to Trey Roberson. You see him working Trey Roberson's calf there. That's a usual cramp treatment for Trey Roberson, who's on the sideline now, and Jake Colby makes his debut. It is hot, it is humid, the temperature on the field well into the triple digits as Colby goes to work. Kopperich trying to find running room. Not much there on 2nd down and 6 as we head downstairs to Lisa Byington.
To just give you a perception, at 10 a.m., guys, it was our thermometer reading was about at 123. And when I talked to some of the facilities folks, they said this field turf can get as hot enough to fry an egg. They've actually done that test where they put some tin foil on the field, put an egg on there, walked away. 10 minutes later, it was absolutely toast. So that is how hot it can get down here for these players and these coaches.
You're making me hungry, Lise.
They'd try it today, but Drew Ott already ate all the eggs.
Exactly right. Exactly. See what I did there?
I do see what you did there.
Thank you very much.
I didn't want to acknowledge it.
False start. Offense, number 12. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
Christian Gibbs moving early. So 3rd and 10, just the 2nd penalty against Illinois State. As Jake Colby, the redshirt freshman out of Naperville, Illinois, in a tough situation here in the 3rd. Continuing to hydrate Trey Roberson, getting him back on the field. On 3rd down, Kopperich going nowhere. Shut down again by Nathan Budgeta, who's slow to get up.
Yeah, he's holding on to something. That's not good.
As we check in Chicago now with a T-Mobile studio update.
Kev, this is one of those great no, 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 yes, yes, yes plays. On a kickoff return, Janarian Grant lets the ball bounce twice. And then he picks it up, and then he returns it. 80 yards for the score, and Rutgers stretches their lead. They're now up 28-13.
I'm not sure that when they watch that in film study the next day, there will be any yes at the end of that. There will be a lot of no, 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 though, for sure. Don't ever do this again. As that one goes out of bounds. A wobbly kick to the 43-yard line, so Iowa's going to have excellent field position once more. 36-yard punt. And a 17-0 lead for the Hawkeyes with 7:55 remaining in the 3rd, and a timeout at Kinnick Stadium in Iowa City. Perfect day, albeit a little warm, in Iowa City, Iowa for the start of the 2015 college football season. Alongside Matt Millen with Lisa Byington on the sidelines, I'm Kevin Kugler. Wonderful to have you with us today and hopefully all season long on BTN as we get a very exciting season started in the Big Ten Conference. First down and 10 for the Iowa Hawkeyes, starting at their own 43-yard line. Motion from Krager Coble. Daniels the carry. Pops through a hole, and Daniels tripped up at midfield. 7-yard gain for LaShawn Daniels.
Now they're going to go with a little bit of hurry up. They had them on the ropes before when they were tired, and they're going to continue to do it.
A little tempo from the Hawkeye offense on 2nd and 3. Daniels again, and Daniels stopped just short of the first down. Combined on the tackle, David Perkins was there, also Alejandro Rivera.
And somebody's down.
And we're starting to see the injuries mount up on this hot afternoon. There's Dalton Keene, slow to get up.
Just a sophomore out of Jacksonville, Illinois. Got some size at 275 to 80 pounds. Young kid, just a sophomore, but they're going to need bigger bodies inside, and that's really what this defense doesn't have, is size.
One thing they like in their defensive line is the depth that they have. Now, for the most part, it's untested. You mentioned sophomore. In their rotation, they only have 2 seniors. Everybody else is either a sophomore or a freshman throughout that 8- or 9-man rotation in the defensive line. 3rd down and a yard for the Hawkeyes. Daniels again. Breaks a tackle, has the first down. Drashane Glass with the tackle, but Daniels, the career high in rushing yards and carries, gets the first down. BTN has you covered all week long as we get you up to speed on all things college football. First at 6 Eastern, join the conversation on BTN Live. Then we cover the entire college football landscape on Big Ten football and beyond. Weeknights on BTN and BTN to go.
LaShawn Daniels has had himself a very nice day here so far today. Has himself over 75 yards. I don't know what it is, maybe like 80-some yards, which is a good start, and it's not finished.
There's Kanziri trying to find some room to run, and not any there that time with Teddy Corwin making the stop. Second time we've called Corwin's name.
Yeah, Corwin ended up making the tackle, but they brought a blitz from that side, so they ran right into the blitz. So it's about numbers. When you hear me talk about numbers, that's the number of people that you're running into. And so when you bring a guy out of the secondary, that adds to the front, and they're generally not blocked.
Beathard on 2nd down. Kanziri out of the backfield. What a catch. He had to walk the ball in with Alex Donnelly coming at him at full speed. That's a nice play.
That's a very nice play, and Donnelly had a great angle on that thing. That ball had to be perfectly thrown, and it is. And Kanziri makes a nice catch. Look at this.
First and 10 for the Hawkeyes.
That's really well done. Thrown on a line.
I have to be impressed with Beathard's arm. We've seen it 2 or 3 times today. He has thrown a strike.
I keep going back to what Coach Ferentz said to Lisa, is how he runs the team. That's what they had been missing.
Daniels fighting for yardage, ridden out of bounds by Drashane Glass after a pickup of a couple, and we head to Chicago once more for a T-Mobile studio update.
Kev, Chris Laviano and Leonte Carew are 2 of the 5 players suspended for the first half for Rutgers. Well, it's the second half. Laviano the quarterback, Carew the wide receiver. Yeah, they're making an impact pretty quickly. That's a 55-yard score, and Rutgers now up by 22 early on in the 3rd.
Yeah, not a bad guy to add to your roster as you move on into the second half of a game. They will make a difference. And they are, obviously, for Rutgers. 2nd and 8 for the Hawkeyes. Quick drop, quick toss, bobbled and caught by Tavon Smith, but that little bobble allowed Devontae Harris to close and limit the damage done.
I would like to see one thing. One thing's been missing here today is they haven't pushed the ball down the field, anything deep. Now, you're not going to get it here, obviously, on the 25-yard line, but Smith would be the guy to be able to do that. And so far today, they haven't been able to connect that.
Yeah, I haven't seen that deep shot. Seen almost everything else, though, from tempo to fake punts, going for it on 4th down. This is 3rd down and 4. Daniels again. And Daniels stopped short. This is going to be an interesting decision, although they went for it in worse position earlier in the game. Do you kick the field goal or do you go for the first down?
To me, I'd bury him. If this is me, it's 17-0. I would just, let's bury him. Let's put him down right now.
They're going to go 4th down and 1.
They're bringing pressure, too.
Beathard on the sneak, and Beathard backs his way in for the first down.
Yeah, good call. That's just a nice job inside by Austin Blythe, the center. Welsh and Walsh, the 2 guards. Anytime you're moving the inside like that, those interior 3 are getting a job done.
Oh, you got to be. Beathard does a good job on the sneak, Matt. He gets in there, then backs in and drives for a little extra yardage.
It's kind of sneaky, though. I'm not a big fan of sneaks.
Linebackers never like sneaks. Kanziri trying to get to the edge, turns the corner, and Kanziri gets yardage where none was to start. Got out of bounds near the 16. David Perkins on the tackle.
Yeah, okay, so they're doing well here in the run game, but I'm just going to say this. When they get into the Big Ten schedule, he's not going to get that edge. The one thing that they lack in their running game right now, and I like Kanziri, always have, and Daniels is playing really well, but they don't have one great speed guy, some guy who's just can get the edge no matter what.
Daniels, stutter step, and fights his way near the marker, close to the first down. So are you saying what we've seen from Iowa today is a little bit of fool's gold based on the opponent?
No, not fool's gold. Just, it is what you are. And, sometimes you're looking at you look at a team and you're going to say, look, they're not going to be able to stretch the field because they don't have a big-time receiver down the field, or they don't have that running back who can get to the edge right away or is going to take it the distance right away. So they don't have that, so you have to work within the framework, and that's what they're doing.
On 3rd and 1, fighting for the first down, and C.J. Beathard has it inside the 10 at the 9. 1st and goal, Hawkeyes.
So now this has just been all body punches right down the field. Second half, this is when you wanted to see it. This is when you're seeing it.
Anybody who's a fan of boxing knows that a body blow is what takes the gas out of the tank.
Yeah, you start seeing the guys on the defensive front, their hands in their hips and bending over. It's taking its toll.
First and goal at the 9. Pressure comes. Toss out to Vandenberg. Vandenberg diving for the pylon. Vandenberg with the touchdown.
The ball has to cross the plane when that foot, when it was inbounds, happened. This is what, if you think you have an elite program and you think you're going to be in the middle of things, you should be dominating this team, and they are.
Touchback on the kickoff once again. Kickoffs have been solid today for the Iowa Hawkeyes, who have been able to mount some long touchdown drives, both long in terms of yardage and in terms of time consumed on those drives.
Yeah, and you can look at the numbers and you can see the time, but what's more important is how they did it. They did it how they wanted to. Keep in mind, the longest throw he's had all day is like 20 yards or 21 yards or something, except for the screen pass. But other than that, they've been pretty condensed. They've been pounding the football, and they've been winning at the line of scrimmage. It's what they wanted to do, and it's what they are doing.
Trey Roberson back in after what appeared to be cramps. Kept him out for a good portion of the last series. See how mobile he is here on first down. Coppridge with the carry. Coppridge, a solid run to the 32-yard line as we head back downstairs to Lisa Byington.
The athletic training staff were tending to Trey Roberson much like it was a cramping issue. They were stretching him out on both calves, and he was grimacing all the time. His body language was not telling me that he was totally confident in his body and his mobility. That could be something to watch here in this series.
And that's a good read, Lise.
It may affect how Kurt Beathard calls this.
Yeah, exactly. And so you don't put the ball in his hands, you keep it out. But with Drew Ott, Drew's not in right now, so he's got a chance.
Well, there he goes. We'll see how the legs work. Looked elusive albeit short of the first down, but he cut left, he cut right, cut back again, so the cutting ability was there.
And so he's there. Now Budget is back in, and Ott is back in, and you got 3rd and short. You still have to utilize the legs of Roberson.
When he was here in 2011, he rushed for 82 yards. Roberson today, -12. And Coppridge with the first down. Just slipped and slithered through a little opening to get to the 39 and move the chains.
Yeah, and he also gets to the 4th quarter.
And we have reached the end of the 3rd quarter in Iowa City. All Hawks up 24. Through 3 quarters, Iowa shutting out Illinois State 24-0, holding the Redbirds to just 79 yards total offense, a team that last year averaged 463 yards per game. And now Colby at quarterback. He'll throw, and Colby's got a man open and a first down at the Iowa 40-yard line. Greg Maben on the stop as we go to Chicago for a T-Mobile studio update.
Kevin, Matt, Kent State in Illinois were supposed to play yesterday evening, but lightning and rain delayed it. They just kicked off. They just scored as well. That's Tyler White on the grab from West Lunch. If you want to watch this game, you can. The only way to watch it is on BTN to go.
Oh, big first score for Bill Cubitt, who just took over late. But he's got the reins.
Colby to the air once more, finds Coppridge, and Coppridge out of bounds at the 33. What do you make of Colby starting this quarter at quarterback for Illinois State? Is this the injury again for Roberson, or just a chance in a 24-0 game to see what this kid can do?
It's probably a combination of both. But Colby stayed in there. You know, he's got decent height, not a real big kid, 200 pounds, but on his first throw, and a critical throw that he made, he got drilled by Drew Ott. I mean, he got waffled.
Welcome back to the game. There's Coppridge, and Coppridge caught from behind by Jaleel Johnson.
That's really well done by Jaleel Johnson. Really well done. He's played well today. And so we're talking about Drew Ott so much. Ott got up the field, kind of took himself out of the play. Jaleel Johnson did a nice job of coming straight down the line and made the tackle.
He's got big shoes to fill, taking over for Carl Davis, who was a 3rd-round pick of the Ravens.
I liked him a lot. I thought Davis was a good player.
Both of those guys on the inside, Nathan Budget and Jaleel Johnson, made some plays today. 3rd down and 4 at the Iowa 34-yard line. Colby to the air once more. That was a dart, but it's broken up.
That's a great defensive play.
It's Maben again, who has been involved in a lot of good defensive plays today.
Yeah, he started off strong, and he's still playing strong. But why it was a great defensive play was the timing was perfect. I want you to watch the break. Watch the break. He's on the ball, hand in front, one behind, but he gets there perfect timing.
Nothing wrong with that pass from Jake Colby either.
No, it was right on the money. Colby's throwing the ball well.
Going to go for it on 4th down and 4 at the Iowa 34-yard line. They're looking for Ott. He's on the end to the bottom of your screen. Here he comes. Colby knows where Ott is as he throws it away with pressure right in his face once more from Drew Ott. You can hear the crowd saying, Drew.
Yeah. Yeah, he's had a big game here today. The only time they've really slowed him down is when he's on the sideline, eating an egg. You can see him, he's right down here. And so they go ahead and they're going to keep the tight end to that side, but they release him. So he's still getting to the top side. That tackle still has not gotten that second step down. And when he has tried to get out, Ott has countered it by going inside. You can never be an effective outside rusher if you don't take the inside.
1st and 10 at the 34-yard line. Here's Daniels picking through the trash in the backfield, and Daniels What a first down. Excellent run by Daniels. Picks up 14 to the 48. Pat Meehan on the stop.
So his first start, what you see out of Daniels is great runner's patience. He just allows his guys to do their job. And all it is just a silent little hesitation and then a burst. And then the next thing, let your guys do their work, come back inside. That's really well done. It's over 100 yards on his first start. That's a nice day for LaShawn Daniels.
Well, you're not kidding. It's been a while since Iowa had a 1,000-yard rusher, and of course Daniels not there yet, but excellent start for Daniels trying to resuscitate that Iowa running game. Beathard over the middle. Open is Hillier, and Hillier inside the 35 down to the 32-yard line of Illinois State. Well, next Saturday it's another full slate of action at noon. Both Maryland and Illinois take the field. Then at 3:30, Matt, Lisa, and I are in Columbus for the top-ranked Buckeyes hosting Hawaii. In primetime, you'll see either Nebraska or the Hoosiers in action next Saturday on BTN and BTN to go. Go to btn.com/gamefinder to find the game in your market. At the 32, Kanziri. Kanziri breaks a tackle. Kanziri stepping over another man and tripped up just shy of a first down by Alex Coker.
They're just what they should do. So watch, bodies on bodies. Everybody's picking somebody up. But Kanziri never stops his feet. Keeps his balance and picks up, 9 yards? Second and short.
And everybody getting worn out.
Starting to get tired over there. And they've been tired. It's been a hot day. They've been on the field a lot. And I tell you, it's brutal when those games happen.
Daniels pounding away again to the 18-yard line. 5-yard gain. And you know a defense is starting to get worn out when a gain like that all of a sudden turns into a 5-yard gain.
Yeah,
it just didn't look like it.
But what I want to show you, if you can, is where the offensive line is and where the defensive line ends up. Watch the line of scrimmage. It started here. It ends up, 5 yards behind? That means your offensive line is really doing their job.
Daniels again. Daniels fighting, still churning, and down near the 13-yard line.
You know what I always loved about Iowa was their football team played like their wrestling team. The Iowa wrestlers are physical wrestlers, and they wrestle you right in the middle of the mat. I love watching Iowa wrestle. I'm a big wrestling fan. I think it's the best sport going. But there's a lot of wrestlers on this Iowa Hawkeye team. 16 high school wrestlers. Kirk Ferentz loves to recruit them because he knows they have the necessary toughness.
Even the kicker, Marshall Kane, was a high school wrestler.
Is that right?
He was. Down to the 10-yard line, Marshall Kane. And, you and I are going to be back here later in the year for Iowa and Minnesota on November 14th. That day, that's a night game, but that day here at Kinnick Stadium, it's an Iowa-Oklahoma State wrestling duel here at Kinnick.
We're there.
I've already got your seats.
We are there. That is going to be a great duel match.
Center mat.
Love it.
They're expecting more than 25,000.
It will be 25,002.
You're not bringing Lisa?
Lise, you got to go.
3rd down and 2. Daniels fighting for the first down. He's got it at the 6-yard line. Helmets flying off at the end of the play. Yeah, Donnelly lost his.
Yeah, this is just a physically dominating performance by this offensive line and a good first start. But like all first starts, you have to keep it in perspective. All they're doing is what they were supposed to do. That's why they trained. That's why they worked in the offseason. That's why they have, I hate to say this game scheduled. But keep in mind, there have been a lot of seasons where they've started off with games they were supposed to dominate like this, and they didn't. In fact, they got beat.
And this is one of the better FCS teams that you're going to bring in. One of the top 3. They're number 2 in the nation this year. Kanziri knifing into the backfield, and a good play coming in to make the stop, and that's former Iowa Hawkeye Reggie Spearman, who started 7 games here last year.
Yeah, and Spearman came off the edge. They brought him on looked like they brought him on a blitz.
There's an injured Hawkeye down right in the middle of the field. That's Jordan Walsh, your right guard. Well, you hope he's okay.
Yeah, you got a Walsh and a Welsh. They both played pretty well. He's played well here today. Now he's got to come out for a play. He's okay.
Yep. You like to see a big man run at any time, but especially after an injury. Big man running to the sideline.
All I have to do is tell them once she's available. They do that really well.
I'll give you full credit for that statement.
That's why I always hung out with the linemen.
The dinner bell was always ringing.
You got it.
Macon Pleva's your fullback. LaShawn Daniels, the running back. 2nd and goal. Daniels. Cut back. Can't get there. He cut back into the son of the head coach, Brent Spack, who helped bring him down.
Spack makes the play. Daniels is carrying the ball, and another Daniels is in at left guard, his younger brother.
True freshman James Daniels. He's playing left guard. They think he's going to be a center as he progresses through his career.
They think he's going to be a stud. That's what they think he's going to be.
3rd down, quarterback sneak. Beathard to the goal line. No signal yet. And it's a touchdown.
Nice job by Blythe. Nice job by Daniels, James Daniels, on the left side. And a nice job also by Welsh.
That might cap the day for C.J. Beathard.
Should.
Officials took a moment to unstack. We'll make sure he got in as well.
That's a good push.
He's in by plenty. Kane's extra point continues the dominance. 31-0. Iowa over Illinois State. C.J. Beathard. Yeah, you think he's having some fun today? 2nd career start. Roll. Iowa 31, Illinois State nothing. 7:54 remaining in the 4th quarter. Kevin Kugler, Matt Millen, Lisa Byington in Iowa City for the opener to the 2015 college football season. A bit of running room, and the door is closed quickly. On the return, Maurice Fleming with the tackle for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Illinois State trying to find some semblance to nation. 1st down and 10 at the 27-yard line for Illinois State, trailing 31-0. John Mark Anderson is the receiver in motion. Quarterback is Jake Colby on for Trey Roberson. He sets up the screen. Not much running room to the edge for Jamal Towns. And one thing Iowa's defense, Matt, was very cognizant of coming into the season. Big plays. They gave up 65 big plays in 2014. So far today, 0.
And so how you define a big play is a passing play over 20 yards or more, and a run play. Some people say 10. They go 15. So they haven't given up any of those at all today.
Longest pass 14, longest run 11. Here's Towns shifting the ball to the outside hand and gets to the 30 as we get to Chicago for a T-Mobile studio update.
Kev, week 1 means it's time for this year's first edition of America's favorite game. Could I be more wide open? Marchie Murdoch of Illinois, you win. A 34-yarder from West Lunt means Illinois scores 2 touchdowns. Not even 4 minutes into the game, they're up 14-0.
Matt and I take umbrage with you calling this could I be more wide open game over already. There's plenty more college football to be played over the weekend. How can you declare the game over this early, Mike Hall? We demand an investigation.
I'm still figuring out what umbrage is.
Colby going deep over the middle, and it's a good throw to Gibbs, who's caught inside the 20-yard line. We just talked big plays. There's the first.
That's really well done. Standing in the pocket, knowing that he has the guy down the middle of the field, and now knowing that he's probably going to take a hit. This ball is put right on the money. That's a great throw.
52 yards from Colby to Gibbs. Biggest play of the day for Illinois State.
So that tells you why Colby's there throwing the football. He gets rid of the ball pretty quick. Dumps it down, not afraid to take a shot. It's nice.
Play action. Colby with time, back to the air, got a man open at the 3 and out of bounds at the 2-yard line is Anthony Fowler. They'll mark him at the 1 where it's 1st and goal.
So you have a different defensive front, so you're not getting the pressure. But Colby's still seeing his guys right away, and the ball's coming out really well.
And time is called. Illinois State takes time out with 5:39 to go. Redbirds knocking on the door. Returns to Fox as the 13th ranked UCLA Bruins take on upset-minded Virginia. Then tomorrow on Fox Sports 1, the Boilermakers travel to Marshall in a non-conference road test. Coverage begins 3:30 Eastern on Fox tomorrow, 3 Eastern, Fox Sports 1. Colby to the air and into the end zone for the touchdown is Brady Tibbetts.
Hey, this Jake Colby's got something. Just a freshman now. Don't forget, he's a freshman out of Naperville, Illinois. This kid's got some game. Now, he's not playing against the group that had been in, but he has great wherewithal. He does a really nice job of holding on to things and letting it until guys can get open. That's the first part. The second part is when he is open, the ball comes out pretty quick. It's impressive.
Yeah, 5-play, 73-yard drive. The 52-yard pass got him on the doorstep. Dumped it into the end zone for the score. And now Sean Slattery will try the extra point. And Illinois State converts 31-7. Iowa still in control. 5:34 to go. .534 remaining in the fourth quarter. Iowa 31, Illinois State 7. Well, if you're Illinois State, do you work on an onside kick attempt here, or do you just kick it deep and try to get out of here?
No, you just kick it away. You know, just watching Kirk Ferentz, and I think Kirk Ferentz and his staff do as good a job of anybody of recruiting and developing players. They don't get the choice guys all the time, but they do a nice job of developing the guys they do get.
Kickoff into the end zone and the touchback for Iowa. Next weekend, Matt, Lisa, and I are in Columbus. Ezekiel Elliott, the top-ranked Buckeyes, are home to open it up against Hawaii for their home opener. Coverage starts 3:30 Eastern next weekend, presented by Safe Flight Auto Glass on BTN and BTN to go.
I like that tie there. I stole that from Mark Halsey.
You did?
Just to take that picture.
Just took it right out of his hands.
Took it right off his neck.
So now we get our first look at Tyler Wiegers, freshman out of Lake Orion, Michigan. His first collegiate snap coming here. And the handoff on first down to Akram Wadley. Gets a yard to the 26-yard line. Wiegers, who committed early to Rutgers, then changed his mind, ended up with the Iowa Hawkeyes. And we were talking yesterday with offensive coordinator Craig Davis, and I said, well, you know, you never want to speculate on anything bad happening to anybody. But that said, do you even want to see Tyler Wiegers? Somebody says, oh, I don't mind seeing him. I just don't want to see him on the field.
Well, this is the right way to see him on the field.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's changing at the line of scrimmage. I like that.
They said he's made huge strides over the course of camp. Nice little toss to the 30-yard line and across the 35 for the first down at the 36-yard line.
Okay,
Outsee with the catch.
So let's have a little bit of perspective here. Okay, so they're playing a good Illinois State football team, but it's not a Big Ten football team. Mm-hmm. That's a given. They did what they were supposed to do, but there were some great positives that showed up here in this game. I think the biggest one, we said from the start, had to be C.J. Beathard. I don't think there's any question.
From Wadley, his cutback breaks another tackle. Look at Wadley all the way out near midfield.
Great effort, great balance. Not a real big guy. Akram Wadley, 5'11", about 180, 85 pounds, something like that. But really good balance.
Well, the Newark native said, if I get a chance, watch my spin move. It's his favorite move. He loves the spin. Had some fumble hiccups in some time last year. From the 49, Wadley. Ball comes out, and the fumble hiccup strikes again as Illinois State takes it away.
That's not a hiccup. That's a throw-up.
Well, that was a problem for Wadley a year ago.
Yeah, just got chopped. Yeah, you have to have. There's at least 3, but there are 5 points of pressure when you carry a football. On the front end, into your elbow, against your forearm, into your side, and I forget the 5th one.
Now, one of them was not in action there.
Now, one of them was missing, and that's what happened.
David Kenny with the chop to knock it out. So the Redbirds offense back to work.
I like this quarterback.
Colby to throw again.
Nice patience.
Underneath pass caught at the 43-yard line by Michael Clements. Coming up, Dave and the gang will get you caught up with scores and highlights from around the Big Ten in week number 1. That's coming up next on the State Farm post-game report. Best start of the day for Illinois State after the fumble.
Colby's very patient. I like what I'm seeing on him.
Of course, he's not dealing with Drew Ott and company right now.
No, he's not.
So that gives him a little bit of a breather as Morera takes it to the 40-yard line. 2:55 to go with Illinois State. Now, don't let this fool you about Illinois State either. This is going to be a team that will be right in the mix at the FCS level. This was a tough matchup for them for a variety of reasons. And Iowa's played well, both sides of the football. But Illinois State's going to do some good things this year. Colby to the air once more, and almost intercepted right in the breadbasket of Maurice Fleming. May have been screened by one of his own guys.
Well, usually DBs are failed receivers, and there's a reason why.
So now Iowa, after this game, they get into the meat of the non-conference. They go to, of course, Ames next week for Iowa State. Always a battle.
Always a good game.
Then Pitt comes to town. Ooh. And then Dan McCarney returns to Iowa, bringing this North Texas team in.
Nice.
One of the all-time great guys in college coaching, Dan McCarney. Colby over the middle again to his tight end. This is Petkovic, and Petkovic down to the 32. So a good debut today for Iowa, but the competition level steps up a notch. And you know that Iowa State game will be tough. Pitt will be a challenge. North Texas, we'll see what Coach Mack can bring in.
Well, I think it's safe to say that their jump-off point was remarkably better than it was a year ago. Not even close. And you have to feel good about Beathard and what he brings.
3rd and 3 for Colby and Illinois State to the sidelines again. Complete first down.
That's smart. Colby's seeing the field. He's seeing the coverage. He knows where he wants to go with the ball. Comes up, ball comes out pretty quick. They're sitting back there in the zone. They're going to give you all those things, so he's taking it.
He was the Scout Team Player of the Year last year in his redshirt season. In his senior year at Naperville Central High School, threw for over 2,200 yards and only 3 interceptions in his senior year.
That's impressive.
You can see he's got a bright future.
Throws the ball well. I like his patience. I like the fact that he sees the field, reads the coverage pretty good.
9 for 12, 122 yards. Play action. Colby again to the sideline and almost able to connect, but just off the fingertips of the intended receiver, Kyle Williams.
That's a pretty good ball.
Now, one thing we learned today, and I think you're going to see this translate Matt, regardless of competition, Drew Ott is ready to go for the 2015 season.
Yeah, he had a great start today. I think both corners. I think both the corners had a good start as well. But Drew Ott, there were some non-sacks that were great rushes.
Colby again looking underneath, complete to the 22-yard line. Good tackle inside by Bo Bauer and Travis Perry. And there's Drew Ott, who has had a great fall, continued it today.
Well, he has high aspirations, and he took a great step in the right direction. He worked a lot this offseason of working on his get-off. I told him what he really needs to work on is that scruff around his face. He had it shorter now, but that thing has the potential to be pretty nasty.
Rip Van Winkle-esque by November. They have a bird build a nest in there as Warham makes the catch, little spin, and a touchdown.
Good effort by Warham. Great effort.
22 yards, and the Redbirds showing a characteristic that you usually find in championship caliber teams. They don't give up.
Yeah, don't quit. No pressure. Ball right where it's supposed to be, up a little high, but Warham does a really nice job of evading and getting into the end zone. They're going to score a lot of points. This will be, he's got himself a pretty good football team.
Yeah, they scored 38 a game last year on their way to the FCS championship game, as the extra point is good. And Iowa's lead 17 under a minute to go. Certainly a happy night in Iowa City pending for these folks. Excellent performance for the most part for the number ones, who were in for a good 3.5 quarters today. Got some good work. Iowa's going to come out of here with their first win of 2015.
You know, this is what you want. This is how you want your game to go. Because you started off, you did some good things. There were some mistakes in there, but then you gave up a couple scores at the end so you can get on them enough the following week.
Get their attention. That muff will go through the back end of the end zone for the touchback. The offense was balanced today for Iowa. 202 yards rushing, 221 yards passing.
So what we mentioned at the start of the game, so the young sophomores in the offensive line, they came through. Nice day. Daniels, with his first start, he had to have something. Has 123, 125 yards, whatever it is, something like that. That's a nice day. And then Beathard, he has to, in Kirk Ferentz's words, run the offense. And that's exactly what he did. He ran the offense. He made smart decisions, big plays when they had to. Good day for the offense.
Yeah, if you're Greg Davis and Kirk Ferentz, you're kind of checking off the checklist. And I think in game one, you're finding a lot of check marks on there.
Which is nice. And defensively, I thought Mabin and King both did a good job. And then I think the others who matched Beathard's effort was Drew Ott.
Good start for Kirk Ferentz and the Hawkeyes. Plenty to build on today. Beating a good FCS team in Illinois State. And now the in-state battle looms with the Iowa State Cyclones. And I don't care what Iowa State has done in recent years or what Iowa has done in recent years. That's going to be a whale of a ball game.
Coach Rhodes will have them ready to roll.
So Kirk Ferentz and Brock Spack will congratulate one another. Wish the other the best of luck as we move on through the 2015 season. And the Iowa Hawkeyes victorious